After researching a wide range of alternative methods for separating media, I found a common theme was cheap plastic breaking off of moving parts, or cheap metal pieces breaking and getting lost. I realized that while the bingo-style tumblers might be more efficient at first, they might lack longevity unless I was willing to shell out pun intended more money.brBR. This item may require a little more work on your part, if you consider shaking something back and forth for 60 seconds to be work. I've gotten best results by putting this over a clean 5-gallon bucket and rolling it around in a circular motion followed by up-and-down shakes. Things work themselves out really quickly and I never have to worry about breaking anything. Of course, if you're in your 90s and have a degenerative shoulder or elbow condition, your results may vary. Then again, if that's the case you probably shouldn't be reloading or shooting your own ammunition. BRBR for everyone else and for the money, this can't be beat.brbrPros brK.I.S.S.brNothing to break unless you're an 800 pounds. Excellent product from Frankford Arsenal, as are most products I have purchased from the company. When purchasing something for reloading purposes I will always run a search to see if the product is available from Frankford Arsenal as well and then watch videos on it to see their take on how it should work. The separator is very well made and works as one would assume a separator works. The item is also very deep so as to keep brass that is being shaken in the separator and not all over the floor or table. I would definitely recommend this item to anyone that wants to buy one separator to last a lifetime. Another great product from Frankfurt. 3 years ago I purchased a Frankfurt Arsenal tumbler kit that included a rotary media separator. I have used that separator with no complaints. I recently purchased a used tumbler, and I needed another separator. I purchased the standard separator because it was half the price of the rotary separator. Well, this standard separator is twice as much work. If you shake the separator the brass stands up on end. You really need to get your hands in there and work the brass around to get the media out of the brass. The rotary separator is quicker, easier, and gets far more of the media out of the brass than this standard separator does.
It's a bucket-sized colander with holes plenty big enough for polishing granules to fall through but not the shells. It works. It makes it easy to separate brass shells from nutshells. I set mine in a 5-gallon bucket, pour in the shells and medium from the tumbler. Shake this thing a couple of times and the separating job is done.
I take my wet tumbled brass and put it in the separator, then swish it around in a plastic tub for a final rinse. I bought it for a 5-gallon bucket so I could dump the tumbled brass and then pick out the pins with a magnet. I have so many 5.56 cases full of brass it is easier for me to pick them out by hand and shake the crap out of them to get the pins out. I imagine it would work fine with the 5-gallon bucket for pistol brass or maybe larger caliber rifle brass.
It's bigger than I thought, but it definitely works well. Prior to buying this I was using kitty litter separator hand shovels. This works much better, but y'all need a 5-gallon utility bucket to mount it on. I got my bucket at the local Home Depot. Either way it really helped reduce the mess from the media used in the tumbler that I had to shake out every time. BRBR price cheap, well made, solid, separates well.
I use this now all the time to separate my brass from my media. I simply PT a towel in it over a bucket and pour out the dirty tumbler water. The stainless steel media stays in the towel and I finish up with my brass. Saved me a couple of steps here and they all add up. After cleaning your ammo brass, dump the contents of the cleaning basket tumbler into this media separator. Use a Home Depot Homer bucket to hold the separator, it fits perfectly. I use stainless steel tumbling media to clean up the tiny stainless steel rods stay inside the brass cases. Gently shake the media separator a few times, the media falls out of the brass cases and collects in the bottom of the Homer bucket. This thing really works.
I have used it about half a dozen times to separate brass from the cleaning solution and the pins. Br it fits inside a standard 212 or 5-gallon bucket perfectly. Br it seems sturdy and I have had no issues with bending, breaking or cracking. Br so far it's been great. Built well, this will do the job if your budget does not allow a better media separator. I used this when I just started out reloading. I used it for separating steel media. Br this thing lives up to its cost, but I think it would be worth to spend the extra $3,040 for an upgraded separator with a covered top and everything.